5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up? I'm Judge James.
I'm Judge Evie.
This is Living for Crits. Happy free RPG Day weekend, people.
Yeah.
Hopefully everyone went out, represented their favorite, friendly little gaming store, FLGS, and got some swag. We did. I did, and Eli did, and your mom did.
I don't hear about it.
You were not there.
Shut up.
You were busy riding horses?
I wasn't riding horses. I was watching.
You were washing horses?
No, I was watching the horses.
Why would you wash horses? My hair looks so slick back. I just got a shower. My hair looks so slick back.
My hair just looks greasy.
My hair looks greasy too. I'm like a greasy dude on Kitchen Nightmares.
No, but it's different than last week.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Last week my hair was pink on this show.
I'm wearing a real trendy,
it's different.
Too tight. It's a large Minecraft shirt too. So this is really cool.
I'm wearing this shirt. It's like an OOTD.
I thought I'd show off what we got swag-wise. What's an OOTD?
I'm proud of that. So you say what you're wearing? Hey guys.
Okay.
I'm
Hi,
wearing
Greg.
this MTV shirt, and I have this rose quartz necklace and this green adventuring necklace.
That's a smile.
There, see? Now you should do yours.
I'm doing this. Okay, I'm wearing a graphic tee with Minecraft characters, the Hulk and Iron Man and Captain America. I ruined my shirt.
Do you have any accessories?
My accessory, yeah, I do. I have all the stuff that we got at Free RPG Day. So look at that.
Why has a bunny on the back?
I'll get the bunny in a second. Wait a second. So we got
the bunny last?
a level 7 adventure, Dark Tower, the Sunken Temple of Set module. This is part of Goodman Games' swag. The other part of their swag was
It smells like fan.
The Free RPG. I know.
Oh my god.
Doesn't it?
Oh my god.
The Free RPG Day 2021 Level 2 Adventure by Stephen Newton, Tomb of the Savage Kings.
No, wait. Give me
so this is cool. Look excited for this one. The next thing, and Judge Mark is going to be so ticked off of this. Hey, Gordon. I know we played this at our Walls Dungeon Tavern Con, but I went and got this is the wrong book. This ain't it. Crap, Where is it? Oh, it's over there. All right, this isn't it. But I grabbed the wrong thing to show off. I got the Worm Sun adventure and quick start for the Dune RPG. I still want to give it another try. With the movie coming out next week, I'm reading the books again. I'm reading the prequel books that were written by Frank's son.
I'm envious.
Anyway, the Blue Rose quick start. I have a lot of the Fantasy Age stuff, but I did want to have a look at this and see if they had done anything different with this, with the age. I know the new age system's coming out, the updated Fantasy Age system, so I thought I would take a look at this. And then, yes, there's bunnies with the Root RPG, which I don't know anything about this. I think Root's a board game.
Huh.
And it looks kind of cute. It's very artsy. Maybe another game, maybe a game that Evie would say she wants to run, and I'd bring her the stuff and she wouldn't read it. Hey, fun fact, someone at Goodman Games this week asked me if you wrote, like you write stuff. And I think that if you had said yes, I think you would be able to write some stuff for Goodman Games, at least like some official capacity. But I had to say no. I had to say that if perhaps whatever adventure it was to be written in interpretive dance, then perhaps you could pull that off, like do that in song. But when it comes to writing, no.
I write random notes that I form into adventures. Like I have a Google Doc full of adventures, but I make them up in my head and I can't write them down. Who asked you? Well, look at where was
I'm not gonna tell you. Not on camera, I'm not.
Oh.
Till later. I do want to run a horror game for the Shrubs if they would play. I really want to run Stephen Newton's They Serve Brandolin Red, which is a 0 level funnel, which I don't think the Shrubs ever played a 0 level funnel. I think they have a lot of fun with this one. This is a DC, it's a Dungeon Crawl Classics horror module. So, all right, so on Halloween?
Yeah.
When on Halloween are we going to do this?
They said afternoon.
When? In the afternoon?
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
So let's.
It's gonna be OG Shrubs.
Let's do this.
It's gonna be me, John, Beth.
We're seriously gonna do this.
They said so.
Then hook this up.
They all agreed.
Then let's do it. Halloween day.
Mm-hmm.
We'll let you know how it goes. Halloween night. Serve Brandolin Red. 0 level funnel.
Is Halloween on a Sunday?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have John and Bab back.
Ooh. On the show?
Yeah, they're gonna be here still.
All right, maybe we can do that.
Halloween,
Maybe we could do that. We could do that. All right. Brian says definitely would buy some adventures in the DCC Judge Evie line. If you get a bunch in a box set with special dice, I definitely buy them. So a special DCC Judge Evie box set.
That'd be great.
It'll be a box that's empty and some dice. There'll be some dice in there.
I could design some pretty cool dice.
All right, well, you know what tonight is?
They had like flames inside.
Special day. This is going to be our 5th Judge Evie Presides in our 2.5 years of broadcasting. Judge Evie and I of Living for Crits, we rep this Sunday night stream is, I believe, still the longest running father-daughter gaming show in the
gaming shows are out there?
Tabletop. I don't think any. We are the longest running of any that are out there of the.
That could be a world record.
Yes, Guinness. Please hit us up for longest running father-daughter game show. I guess anyone who wants to catch up is going to have a hard time because we have 2.5 years of these Sunday shows, which are mostly us rambling. And I know you all know this, but you still keep coming back. Go figure. But we have an all Judge Evie Presides episode.
We do.
I have a question. I'm going to go with start first. I have a question for once. This is a good one.
I think I saved all the questions. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7.
Wow.
Plus, I guess, yours.
All right, well, this question here came to us on Twitter, and this is from Jasper Redding. Can you include more lizard people in your games?
I was going to say lizard people in the show. And
what are your thoughts on a lizard person class race for DCC? It already exists. It's out there. Crawljammer. I think Crawljammer number 1 has a lizard man class. And they're kind of cool. They get a claw attack if you want to use that, or a tail attack. So if you find the Crawljammer zine on Drive-Thru RPG, you could go find that out. And Crawljammer's fun. I liken Crawljammer a little bit. It kind of lurks in this domain that exists between...
lurk of domain.
What?
It's a lurk of domain.
It lurks... I'm trying to look it up here. It lurks between the John Carter of Mars and Space 1889 vibe and the Spelljammer vibe. You can get the bundle on for $9. You know what? I'm gonna put a link to this in our show notes later. So the Crawljammer 1 through 6 by Moon Dice Games, and this is I've used quite a bit from Crawljammer. Evie's played Crawljammer, does not realize it, because when we ever did DCC Star Wars, I always used Crawljammer stuff. Yeah, it was. But the Lizard Man Mercenary is a class out of the Crawljammer Zine 1. There's a good adventure in there, too, which is called Cry Freedom and Let Slip the Batman of Venus. So that's a good module. I've run it a couple times. It's a good short con module. But you'll have a good time here. I mean, the adventures, the stuff in here, it's all good. You'll enjoy it. There's a class in there called a Psychic Knight in issue 3 that when I ran DCC Star Wars at one of the Gen Cons and at GaryCon 2017, I think it was Gen Con 2017 and GaryCon 2017, I used the Psychic Knight from Crawljammer Zine number 3 as my Sith Darksider, like Dark Knight, because all the characters were bad guys. So, and it worked pretty well. So, highly recommend Crawljammer. Yeah. And you can get your lizard folk there. And the lizard man mercenary works really well. It fits. It's fine. So, good question though. Thank you so much, Jasper. Question number 2 from Greg Schwarzkopf. Judge Evie, go ahead and read this one.
What is the strangest creature you've ever built an adventure around? I mean, you put the entire Gritty adventure.
Gritty was
Gritty was pretty.
But we didn't build the adventure around Gritty.
True. I don't know if I've ever built an adventure around something.
I mean, the first adventure I ever built around a monster was an adventure I ran for Epic Con 1 at Lehigh University in 1996. It was all about the short-statured classes, going after races at the time, ancestries, the gnomes, halflings, and dwarves hunting a green dragon. And it was based on the green dragon and hunting down, having to track it, all kinds of stuff. I read it when I was in high school, but that wasn't weird. That was just Dungeons and Dragons, and there's a dragon. Although dragon show up so rarely in D&D, so I don't know what I had a module with a weird creature.
You need to you build.
I guess.
I never. Well, no, I didn't
Mall
write
Mall's
that.
not really.
I
Yeah,
didn't
Greg
write
goes
that.
right to Mall Mall because that's your event. You always look behind you for Mall Mall. Where's Mall Mall to grab
He's
that and
upstairs.
say, hey?
Caillou's upstairs.
Oh, that's right. Caillou was in Mall Mall, huh?
Darn. Yeah, that was probably the most interesting adventure.
I have to say, I don't like to base adventures around single creatures
I
too
don't
frequently.
base adventures on single creatures, but I have single creatures that take up a lot of time in the adventure. And when I did Nevin the one time, I made the talking stick an actual person.
Oh, you made a talking stick for days and just kept hanging out and doing stuff.
I made it so the people could so I needed a way to revive characters, right? Not revive them, but get them new characters in. So my way of putting new characters in was they would put objects in the magic well, and then they would turn into a person, and they get like Mr. Stick, and they have a character named Mr. Stick, and they make a walking stick. Or someone's can I put my shoe in it? And so they're a boot person. Yeah.
There you go.
It's really interesting.
So Mr. Stick, you crafted the adventure around it. You built you pulled the adventure around it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the closest we're getting answering this question, Greg. I'm sorry if that's not the best answer. I was gonna say I don't like writing adventures around single creatures because the players killed them too soon. It's my problem. Next question.
We have 6 questions by Brian.
Wow.
One was from last week.
Wait, so our 7 questions, 6 are Brian's?
Huh?
We have our 7 questions, 6 are Brian's? That's awesome. That's great. Brian just...
Well, 3 of them from last
We have
week.
to give Brian and Greg credit at some point for being essentially our
do.
producers of our show.
They do more work than we do.
I know, they seriously. We throw this crap together fast. All right, let's hit this up with Brian's questions. Question
Okay.
number 1.
Should I do last week's or this week's first?
Last week. I think we should do this in order.
Okay. Wait, I have to yawn. Hold up.
He was yawning.
Oh. This is from Brian, as we've said. Aloha, judges. You did it. You motivated me to submit 2 DCC events to run the Empire of the Cyclops Con.
I heard about that on Twitter, I believe. That's awesome, Brian. Fantastic.
Wait, no, actually, I think we did these ones.
Are you sure?
We did.
Did we?
I lied. We already did those questions.
Did we do that question?
I think we did. And I ran through them.
Is that how I knew? Oh, we did because of the Cyclops. Oh, crap. Well, there we go.
We only have 3 questions now. So,
All right, well, go to the next one.
no, because the email wasn't open.
Oh, snap.
It glitched on
There's
me.
a lot less Judge Evie presiding now.
Wow.
Oh, well.
I'm not a rap either.
There we go. Keep going.
You should go get questions right now.
Well, if people can
Put a
ask
live
us, people can
Twitter
ask
feed.
us questions in the stream chat. That would be
Hi,
useful.
guys.
All right, go ahead.
Next.
Question 1.
Part 2 of
Part
Brian.
2, question 1 of Brian.
Greetings, judges, and happy October. With no more Ted Lasso to watch, I've got some free time to ponder these questions. Number 1. I heard there's going to be a new edition of sorts of D&D coming out in a few years.
I heard of this.
What things would you like to see, or would you get you interested in a new edition of any type of fantasy RPG, D&D, DCC, or other? Is there any aspect, either for rules, characters, or settings, you'd love to see in a new fantasy game? Hold up, we gotta go. Something that would motivate you to try it.
Judge Evie, what would motivate you to play D&D 6th edition?
Ew. If it's nothing like 5th edition.
So what does that mean?
I don't know.
You never played 5th edition?
Yeah, I have.
With what? With John?
No, with you.
Oh yeah, that one time.
Yeah, it was
One
like
time.
2. It was only one.
Maybe twice.
Mm-hmm. I still
It was
like it.
nothing like it. What does nothing like 5th edition mean?
I don't know.
My issues with 5th edition, as I've now finished playing it, because I'm wrapping up my campaign with it, are sort of connected to my issues with 6th edition isn't going to fix it, because there's a lot of business model issues I have with D&D and with Hasbro and whatnot, and I think I'd rather just play games written by people, by smaller print companies, or at least medium-sized print companies. Like things that I'm excited for right now, I'm excited for the new Fantasy Age. They're going to be putting out over at Green Ronin. I'm excited. I can talk. I'm excited for.
You always pause. That was a dramatic moment.
I'm answering a question. I'm excited for Shadow of the Weird Wizard. Okay, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not. Honestly, I'm excited for this tea right now, way more than I'm excited for 6th edition D&D. So.
That's what you want.
What do we got?
Oh my god, is it apple cider stuff?
Cinnamon apple spice.
Wow, for both of us?
Is it the tea or is it like the apple cider bar?
Ooh, wow, this is hot.
Sorry it took so long. It would not.
All right, let's clink.
Oh yeah. Clink and then put it down because it's way too hot.
Gordon says he'd consider playing 10th edition. I'm just not.
Maybe
I'm just not feeling it.
4
Not
years.
feeling D&D,
It'll be fine.
and it's cool. It's all good. I'm talking about this. Like, it's one of those things where I just feel like I need to give it a reason why I'm not into the game as much as I'd like to be. But I tried it, so it counts. All right.
I tried it too.
Next question.
Yeah. Number 2, I think of
Well,
us.
did we answer the whole part of that question? Okay.
Number 2, I think I've asked this before, but it's timely. What is your favorite DCC horror adventure? Clowns.
You really for those clowns?
It's like the only one I actually remember, so like, I'll just keep saying it.
Okay.
It's a pretty valid reason.
What's the adventure called?
Carnival of the Darned.
My favorite is Sinister Sutures of the Sempstress. It's a higher level module. I TPK'd a party with it, a higher level party with it. So Sinister Sutures of the Sempstress.
Sinister Sutures of the Sempstress. Sempstress?
Yeah, like seamstress, yeah.
Sinister Sutures of the Sempstress.
It's really, really good adventure. Like really, really, really good. So I highly recommend it. You checking it out. Maybe run it as a one shot because it's very deadly. We ran it with characters that we've been playing for years. As we kind of went back to an old campaign, let those characters come back for one module, and I TPK'd them. So this was last year. So good module, go for it. But it's fun to. It's got all my favorite kinds of horror. I'm big on body horror and torture horror and stuff like that. If it's not your thing, maybe then don't go towards it. If movies like Hostel aren't for you. Next question.
Question number 3. Are you going to run 5e Curse of Strahd for Halloween?
No.
No, we're going to run this.
No. I do. We're going to run They Serve Brandolin
Yeah!
Red. I am considering giving the giant Curse of Strahd coffin to Evie's friend Josh, though.
John's going to cry.
So if John's watching this, I think I'm giving you Curse of Strahd, and you're going to get the coffin edition.
Yeah.
So you can run it. So John can run it. Josh can run it. And that's fine.
Yeah.
I think I'm also going to give him the Ravenloft book, too. But okay. Moving on. Next question.
There was a question in the chat.
Question in the chat.
From Gordon.
More questions can come over, too. You can send us more while we're talking here.
This is true.
All right. What is the funniest trap you have ever used in an adventure? Judge Evie, do you wish to go first?
I have to think of one.
My favorite...
I have one. You can do yours first.
My favorite trap isn't a trap per se. It's a series of traps. We were running the Emerald Enchanter as part of our Friday Night Live game several years ago. We were still playing live in Pittsburgh.
I forgot about those.
And the party the adventure took place in the Shutter Mountains, and the players kept going into the Emerald Enchanter's lair, bounding about, dealing with stuff, setting off traps, exploring, and they kept leaving and healing up because they kept getting hurt.
This was full on leaving?
Remember? Yeah, you guys were leaving. It was you guys.
This.
Yes, you were.
Oh,
Jeff was in it. Yes.
Oh, I wasn't this.
So,
We did keep leaving. I remember this.
The third time they returned, they found receipts in empty boxes outside from Grimtooth. As the Grimtooth had delivered a bunch of traps, and I loaded that dungeon up with traps and became a hellscape of trappiness. And it was great. And so it wasn't one trap, it was a whole bunch of traps. I don't think any of you died, but it definitely slowed you all down. How about you?
It's not really a trap, but I think this was really funny. So remember when I ran Sailors for the first time? And remember how like my entire take of it was like really wrong?
What was your take on it?
No, like, do you remember when I ran it though?
What do you mean?
Okay, I ran Sailors for the first time, right? He handed it to me, and I kept falling asleep while reading it, so I had no idea what was actually happening.
You ran it at the game store. Yes. Oh, yes, I remember.
Yeah,
the walk-off mat of the damned or whatever it was.
The one where you step on it and underneath the human button, it just would insta-kill, like, anyone with the lowest
walk-off. She put, like, a welcome mat in front of, like, one of the buildings, and it was an insta-killing welcome mat.
No, because it said there was a doormat that said, like, repent on it, right?
Yes.
And I took that as, oh, it kills you.
It wasn't a doormat. It was a sign.
Well, I took that as, oh, my God, it can be a doormat, and there's a big red button underneath. And so if they if they took the doormat off, they would find a huge red button. But if they stepped on the doormat, then it would insta-kill the person with the unlucky squirrel. I think people got really mad at me for that adventure. I think it was like, what even happened? There was like the final like boss or whatever, right? And I think it was like you. Were you left?
I killed like
everybody. No, because
I don't remember what you did.
Dylan came back from like a soccer tournament. He came back from a soccer tournament and we threw him in. And it was like, you have to kill it.
You had to kill Dylan?
No, you had to kill the monster because no one else could. But he was like in soccer gear. I remember him just like rolling up.
All right, I have a question for you. Okay, I'm going to ask, since you have no other questions coming over here.
This isn't really answered well.
What?
I'm too scared. Your questions are always very intense.
This isn't intense.
Okay.
This is what would be if like for Halloween. Now we're gonna play the game down here, but if we couldn't play the game down here, where would be a good place to play a role-playing game during Halloween?
A graveyard.
I don't think you're the first person to ever bring that up.
Don't people do that? Like, let's go play some 5e Dungeons and Dragons on a gravestone. Isn't that something people do?
I think there's people that have done things in graveyards. Do you think it's a little disrespectful of the dead to play in a graveyard?
Oh, completely. But everyone does it.
Everyone does it.
Yeah.
Everyone plays D&D in graveyards.
Yeah. So why shouldn't you?
Maybe the demon did get in your brain.
What?
Were you there?
I deserve that.
All right. I think were you yesterday in the Halloween store?
No, I've never been to Spirit. I want to go to Spirit so badly.
We should go to Spirit this week. I want to go to Spirit.
I want to go to Spirit. Were you in Spirit?
I wasn't at Spirit.
I want to go to Spirit. Spirit sounds so cool. I need to get fake blood for my Halloween costume.
Greg says D&D spell reciprocal gyre in a dragon lair. What does reciprocal gyre do? I don't know what that means. Is that like your favorite trap? What is that? I don't know what a reciprocal gyre is. I have no clue what that means. It's a trap, but what's the spell do?
I haven't answered that one.
Is it? Did you mean? Wait. I think Greg has a typo. He meant reciprocal gyro. So in a dragon lair. So if you were in a dragon lair, you cast the spell.
And like a gyro appears? Like
and you give the gyro to the dragon.
Like the Greek sandwich?
Yeah. That's what he means. He means it's about the gyro. Which, you know what, I gotta say, I'm a fan. If they put a reciprocal gyro, that is a spell I could get behind. Maybe I'd be into D&D more if that was a real spell.
Yeah.
All right. Brian has a question here. If you had to run an RPG with just dice and no books,
I did that before.
what would you run, from memory or improv?
I did that before. Remember we were, it was Gen Con the last night, and we were all sitting in the lobby, and I had, like, a screen, and I had dice, but I had to complete, like, make up the adventure.
He says no, he says dice. That's why you have is dice.
Oh, well, I had, like, a screen, whatever, right? So you handed me, I think it was like one of the I think it was like Inferno Road or something, right? But they were like, we don't want to play this. So I was like, okay. And so we had to make up that entire other adventure. Just so like, do you remember what it was about?
No.
No, I don't know if I can talk about it now. I feel like it'd be...
That's what you remember.
Huh? Yeah. No, but you would definitely just like improv it. Like, don't memory something. That's boring. Just like, you could do the thing where you go around a circle and everyone says something really random. Like, give me a place, give me a person, give me a setting, and give me like a monster or whatever, right? And they just complete an entire adventure on that. And just improv the whole thing. Which is what I do with most adventures anyway. I look at the actual adventure and I'm like, that's just guidelines.
Yeah, but you don't follow any of the guidelines.
Exactly.
I can run DCC from memory to a point, but the charts would throw me off. I'd probably be more comfortable.
You don't need no charts.
I'd be more comfortable doing like a very basic 0 level thing with DCC, or just to use the mechanic. Mechanically, I think that system, the D20 system, plus 1, 2, or 3, whatever, that's fine.
It's really hot still.
Is it?
It's like a little bit hot. Did you try it?
No.
No, like think again. It's like drinkable hot.
That's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
D6 games like Ghostbusters are very easy to run out books. D6 games like
game I forgot
Ghostbusters.
existed?
I don't. Was Ghostbusters the same system as Star Wars D6 and Men in Black D6? Is that the same system, Gordon? Like, I mean, I remember where it was like 1d6, 2d6, 3d6, 4d6, or 3d6 plus 1, or was your stats? I mean, I played a lot of D6 Star Wars when I was in high school and college, but I never played Ghostbusters. But I can see West End Games having the rights to that. Brian asks, what would you design for the next setting of DCC or MCC? That's a tough question. That's a good question. What would be the next setting for DCC or MCC? That isn't announced because I'm really excited to see the new X-Crawl Classic. So if we're saying something was brand new, DCC or MCC, oh my! If it was completely up to me, I mean, Mutant Crawl Classics, Waterworld. That's what I want to see. I want to see just Waterworld, just like a bunch of people on jet skis running around. That would be awesome. Like the movie Waterworld.
Oh, I know the movie Waterworld.
What?
I know the movie Waterworld.
You just know the one quote from Waterworld.
No, I watched it before.
Did we watch it? Did you watch Waterworld?
Yeah.
It's a very damp movie.
Literally. Get it? It's like...
Yes, it's Waterworld. Yeah. That's why I said it literally.
Not this for your mom.
For DCC, I don't know what I would design as a strictly DCC setting.
I have no idea.
Nothing?
I have no idea. I'm trying to think, you know?
You know, Dungeon Crawl Classic is one of those games I don't need to have a setting for. I'm coming to the end of I'm in the middle of a DCC Lankmar campaign. We kicked things off around session 20 so far. They're at level 4, and I really like the DCC Lankmar system in general, but I like the fact that the DCC modules are setting agnostic, otherwise, not the Lankmar ones, so I can put them anywhere. So DCC is one of those games I'm glad I don't have a lot of setting lore to worry about. I really like not having a lot of setting lore and book lore to be focused on. I found that with D&D, all of the bloat of like Forgotten Realms or Dragonlance, or if you didn't know it, Dark Sun, I happen to know it, if you didn't know it, Dark Sun, that's a lot, especially in an age where to get those books, you have to either spend a lot of money on Drive-Thru-RPG or on the used market, or alternatively, you just have to like wing it what you have. Brian used to love the Thieves World books in the 80s. It'd be a great setting, but I would think it would be very, very close to Lankmar. Yeah, Lankmar has that urban fantasy setting feel. So if Thieves World takes place in the maybe a suburban setting, how about that? That'd be interesting. I would like to see a more fleshed out dystopian system. Like I know Cyber Sprawl Classics is pretty awesome, and it's free, and you get it for free. I'd love to see, and I think X-Crawl has some dystopian feel to it. I'd like to see some dystopian feel. It doesn't have to be cyberpunk per se, but it's more, a little more near futuristic. Let's see here. And then Gordon says Star Wars D6 being part of the D6 system. Ghostbusters was the ancestor of the D6 system. What does that mean, though? Was it related? Okay? So Star Wars D6 is part of the D6 system. Okay. I'm like, wait a second, what? So, these are good questions. We're gonna wrap things up here. It's 9:30, and Brian says I'm with you in the lore. Until now, 5e never played or read Forgotten Realms, so we sort of make things up, which works better. Have a feeling that if I played with hardcore Forgotten Realms folks, I would get annoyed. Yeah, I think that was my issue with Dragonlance, running Dragonlance in the 90s, the late 90s, was a lot of my friends were more into the novels than I were. I just had read the Chronicles, the first 3 books, and they had read dozens of novels, and I could not keep up. All right, we're going to wrap things up. Good questions. Good Judge Evie Presides episode. Nice job, Evie.
Yeah, I answered all those questions perfectly.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
You did. Mm-hmm. All right, Kickstarter shout-outs right now, and I'll put a link in... there's a question here. I'll come back to that in a second. A link in the notes for MCC RPG Seekers of the Unknown. And this is a Kickstarter right now that is being done. It's at 23 days to go. It's already funded. Lewis Hoffer is running this and is Mutant Crawl Classics compatible. So if you go check it out, it looks like it's a really, really good looking map. I gotta say, it's in color. Sometimes the maps feel like black and white. That's great, but this one is pretty rad. And then there are, I think they're hit just the stretch goal level, where they are adding an extra color hex map of the wilderness surrounding the lands of Boom with extra encounter keys. So that will be pretty cool. And this is a level 1 adventure. Kind of happy to see that. I like there being more adventures for Mutant Crawl Classics that are higher level and not just 0 level adventures. So Seekers of the Unknown, Classics Mutated. Make sure to check it out. I will put the link in the notes on YouTube. Brian asked another question here. Would you play Dragonlance in 5e? No, because I'm really kind of done with 5e. So now, like, for real done with 5e. Now it's like, I don't need to worry about it now. I'm going to keep like 1 or 2 of the books in the house for Jen for work purposes, since there is the Kickstarter for Monty Cook Games' Planebreaker coming out. But Anyway, Road Crew shout-outs. I think there's 1 seat left in my Empire of the Cyclops Con. No, I think there were one of my seats for what's it called?
What is it called?
Either my Saturday or Sunday event. Saturday I'm running Last Will and Testament of Obadiah Faulkner, and Sunday I'm doing The Fence's Fortuitous Folly. I believe there is 1 seat in one of those available. Come play me online. Come play. That's going to be cool. Judge Evie, where can folks find us online?
They can find us at I Live for Crits on Twitter, Living for Crits on Instagram, and Search Living for Crits on YouTube.
All right, so everybody, be safe, be healthy, be kind to one another. And for my outro ASMR, I'm just gonna say, let's go to the cemetery.
Yeah, graveyards.
Good night, everybody.
Night.